Okay guys, going to do the fuel filter on this A6 C7. It's a 2 litre TDI. The fuel filter is underneath on the side here, along on this, the driver's side. On this is a right hand drive Irish car. It'll be on the side your fuel filter cap is on, because I'm not sure if they're reversed in America. But anyway, the first issue you're going to have is getting your car actually up to be safely on two stands. And I'll link the post I found after checking for ages how to do this. But basically, you jack up the rear, which will give you enough height to put the stand on the front jack point. You can see my jack underneath the car. You then go around to the other side rear and jack that up, and that will take the side up with you. That'll give you enough height to get the jack standing on the jack point on this side as well, which that'll give you then your two jack stands safely. That jack is just sitting there, it's not actually holding the car anymore. So you start off with the rear, that'll get you enough height for the front, then you go around to the other side rear, jack that up, and that'll get you enough height for your rear stand. Just worth mentioning guys, you're going to be jacking one of these up with a trolley jack. I'm going to grab one of these little adapters. I'll drop a link below. It sits up into the little hole that Audi use for jacking cars. Well worth having it just to make sure the car doesn't slip on you. Okay, the next thing you need to do is take off this shield, which basically stretches from this joint here and up to about here, just in front of the other stand. Now this is all just 10mm. See, can I show them? 10mm little nuts. There's one here as well, and then there is two, like, there's one here and one up the other end, like little trim, like, you know, like push-in trim pieces. Now there's also a line down that side, so I don't know, there's a heap of them, 10 maybe more, 10 and 2. Anyway, get that shield off and that'll get us to the fuel filter. This has then got you to your fuel filter. Getting that plastic shield off is actually, I think, the hardest part of this job. But this is only then one 10mm bolt. There's never one here, there's only ever one. Oh, some of those little black bits, sorry, little black rings, might come off when you have one. Some of those little black rings might come off when you're taking off the shield. They just kind of pop up on the top side of it. Anyway. And then there's just two little tabs. They're going to just slot into little rubber bits up here, one each side. That's all that holds that on. So now we have access to the fuel filter. Okay, the fuel filter is just held on with two of these little clamps, one each end. You just squeeze them. Your fuel filter will have an arrow on it showing the flow. Sure, if you can see in this one, it's actually up. It's up there. It's just up there, the arrow showing flow. Just make sure when you're putting your filter back on, your new one, that your flow is going the same direction. The other thing is you're going to need some sort of container. Now, before you go pulling this hose off, I would get the clip off on the other end as well, just so you don't be messing around with that when you clip the pipe off. This is where you want your container to catch your diesel. Just let this drain and do the same the other end. Okay guys, installing the new filter, just reverse and taking out the old one. Just remember to make sure your flow arrow is going the same way as the flow arrow was on Okay guys, here's where there's going to be a bit of an argument. In this car, which is 2 litre with a TDI engine, and the same the A5 with the same engine of the same year, 2012, I find you can prime this pump, this fuel filter, by just turning the accessories. You know, putting in accessories, not starting the car a couple of times and it'll prime fine. Now, that does not mean that that's true for all Audi diesel engines, or even all A6 diesel engines, or any other diesel engine. Some diesel engines, if you do that, you can destroy your high pressure fuel pump. So if you have a different car, you really need to check out yourself. Do you need to use VCDS or one of those softwares to prime the pump, the fuel fit, to prime the filter? If you have a different engine or even a different car, you need to check, do you need to use VCDS or some other type of software to get the car to prime the filter, or are you okay to prime it by just cycling through that accessories on off a couple of times just by hitting the start button without actually starting the engine? On this car, in my experience, it's fine. It may not be in other cars. I like to do that now a couple of times while the car is still in the air and before it goes back together, just so I can check, make sure that there's no leaks have been introduced here or anything. I'm happy now there's no leaks. I'm going to start putting the car back together. First thing is just to pop this little spacer that fell out, and then you can see here there's just 2 little holes that these tabs go up into. Right, next is the hardship of getting this shield back in. It can be a bit of a pain sometimes. These little discs go, you can see where they are, they go on the top side of this tray. They should be stay there, but over time they kind of wear away. So try and get those back in as best you can. Okay guys, I didn't show myself tightening those nuts up, but that's basically the job done. Just to get the car back down, obviously. It's not too bad. Getting that shield out of the way is the worst part of the whole job, I think. If that wasn't there, it would actually be really quick. Okay guys, I mean, like I said with the priming the fuel filter, I do it by just pressing the accessory, like, you know, pressing the start button, but actually turning the car on a few times to cycle through. If you don't think you should do that, get the VCDS or some other software and do it that way. Thanks for watching.